Atlanta was already buzzing that night, but no one could have predicted the chaos that was about to unfold. What started as a quiet evening for Tiny turned into a nightmare that left her house shaking with rage and betrayal. Everyone knew Tiny and Shekinah had their ups and downs, but this time, Shekinah went too far, and the entire city felt it. It all began with a leaked clip. A short, blurry video that hit social media like a bomb. It showed T.I in a private moment, something that was never meant to see the light of day. Within minutes, blogs were reposting it, Twitter was exploding, and fans were in disbelief. People were tagging Tiny left and right, asking if she had seen it, if she was okay, and if the rumors were true. Tiny didn't respond immediately. But those who knew her knew that silence from Tiny never meant peace. It meant the storm was building. She sat in her living room, phone in hand, scrolling through the comments. Every word felt like a stab. She could hear the whispers from her team, the ringing phone from publicists, and the notifications pinging nonstop. But through all of that noise, one thought played in her mind like a broken record. Who would do this? And then it hit her. There was only one person who had access. One person who'd been around just enough, trusted just enough, and close enough to T.I and Tiny to get something like that. Shekinah, her so-called best friend, the woman who'd been by her side for years, laughing, crying, arguing, and now, possibly betraying. Tiny couldn't even breathe for a moment. Her eyes welled up with tears, but not from sadness, from fury. She whispered to herself, she couldn't have done this. But deep down, Tiny already knew the truth. Within an hour, Tiny's team confirmed it. The metadata, the timing, the connection. It all pointed back to one source, Shekinah Anderson. When that confirmation came through, Tiny didn't wait. She grabbed her keys, threw on a hoodie, and told her assistant, "Don't call me. I'll handle this myself." Atlanta nights can feel heavy when you're angry. The air is thick, the streetlights seem to hum louder, and every mile feels longer. Tiny drove through the city with her jaw clenched and her mind spinning. This wasn't just betrayal, it was humiliation. The world was now laughing at her husband, questioning her marriage, dissecting her every move, and all because of someone she called sister. When Tiny arrived at Shekinah's place, she didn't knock. She pounded on the door until Shekinah opened it, confused and half asleep. But the second their eyes met, Shekinah froze. She knew why Tiny was there. "You did it, didn't you?" Tiny's voice trembled, but her eyes were ice cold. Shekinah stuttered, trying to find words. "Tiny, listen, I didn't mean—" "Don't lie to me," Tiny snapped, stepping closer. "You leaked that video. You betrayed me. You put my family on blast for clout." The tension was unbearable. Neighbors peeked through blinds. A dog barked in the distance. But Tiny wasn't done. She continued, her voice shaking between rage and heartbreak. "After everything I did for you, after all the times I stood by you when people clowned you, this is how you repay me?" Shekinah's eyes filled with tears. "Tiny, I didn't think it would blow up like that. I swear I didn't mean to hurt you." Tiny cut her off, her voice rising. "You didn't think? You just wanted attention. You've been jealous, haven't you? You've always wanted my spot, my life, my peace. And you couldn't stand to see me happy, could you?" Shekinah broke down, covering her face. But Tiny wasn't moved. The betrayal had sunk too deep. By that time, the blogs had caught wind that Tiny had shown up at Shekinah's house. Paparazzi started circling. Cameras caught Tiny storming back to her car, her face tight with fury. The moment she got home, she unfollowed Shekinah on Instagram, deleted old photos, and went live. That's when everything exploded. Thousands of people tuned in as Tiny, calm but visibly shaken, addressed the situation. Her tone was slow, deliberate, and full of restrained emotion. "I never thought I'd have to do this," she said. But betrayal hits different when it comes from someone you loved like family. Some people don't deserve access to your life. Some people don't deserve your loyalty. She didn't name names. She didn't have to. Everyone knew who she was talking about. Shekinah, on the other hand, panicked. Within minutes, she jumped on her own live, crying and trying to explain herself. "I didn't mean to hurt Tiny. I swear y'all twisting it. "I didn't leak nothing, it was just an accident." But the damage was done. Screenshots surfaced, showing Shekinah sending that same clip to someone in a group chat weeks before the leak. Her excuses didn't matter anymore. The receipts were out and Atlanta was eating it up. Tiny's fans flooded Shekinah's page, calling her a snake, a traitor, a clout chaser. Even people in the industry started unfollowing her. Within hours, Shekinah's brand deals were pulled, her podcast appearances canceled, and she was trending for all the wrong reasons. Meanwhile, T.I stayed quiet. But that silence made everything worse. People started asking questions. Why wasn't he defending Tiny? Was he mad at her for reacting? Or was there more to the story than anyone knew? Behind closed doors, T.I was furious. Not just at Shekinah, but at himself. That video was never supposed to exist. It was private, from a moment he thought was safe. And now his image, his family's name, was being dragged through the mud. When he finally spoke to Tiny, the conversation wasn't calm. He paced the room, voice rising. "You let her around us too much." "I told you she talks too much," Tiny fired back. "Don't you dare put this on me. She was supposed to be our friend. She was supposed to protect us." It was raw, it was real, and it left the house in silence. But behind that silence, something broke between them. Not love, not yet, but trust. Because when the whole world gets to see what's meant to be private, something inside you changes. Days later, Shekinah tried to reach out. She sent long texts, left voicemails, even posted an apology video online. "Tiny, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I messed up. I just want to fix it." But Tiny didn't respond. Instead, she channeled all that pain into something else. Control. She called her lawyers, tightened her circle, and told her family, "We're done playing nice." Rumors began swirling through Atlanta that Tiny was getting ready to take legal action. Word was she wanted to make an example out of Shekinah, not out of spite or revenge, but out of a need for peace. After everything that had unfolded, Tiny wanted to protect what mattered most: her name, her family, and her sanity. People close to her said she was tired of the whispers, the gossip, and the constant invasion of her privacy. The court filings never went public, but the streets were talking. Everyone was saying that a lawsuit was being drafted for defamation and privacy violation. And that's when things changed. Shekinah, once bold and outspoken, suddenly went quiet. She stopped showing up to events, avoided interviews, and went silent on social media. Her usual confidence seemed to fade, replaced by a heavy silence that spoke louder than words. People noticed her disappearance. The same energy she once brought to every room was gone. Meanwhile, Tiny didn't have to post, speak, or explain anything. Her silence became her power. Without saying a word, she made it clear that some lines should never be crossed. A few weeks later, T.I stepped out at a major music event. The cameras followed him, but his energy was noticeably different. Colder, calmer, and distant. When a reporter asked him about the situation, he didn't dodge the question. Instead, he looked straight into the camera and said, "Sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who do the most damage. But karma's coming. Don't worry about that." That single line hit the internet like a storm. It went viral instantly. Some called it a warning, others called it closure. Either way, everyone understood. The message was loud and clear, and in that moment, the narrative shifted. It wasn't just Tiny versus Shekinah anymore. It was about betrayal, loyalty, and the price of trust and fame. Fans started dissecting every old clip, every friendly moment, wondering if they missed the signs all along. Some said Shekinah had been jealous for years. Others claimed Tiny used her and dropped her when it was convenient. But the truth was somewhere in between, complicated, messy, and painfully human. In the end, Shekinah was left isolated. Her calls went unanswered, her DMs ignored. The very circle she'd once bragged about being part of had shut her out completely. Tiny, on the other hand, moved quietly. She started posting family moments again, with T.I, with her kids, smiling, healing. But if you looked closely, that old sparkle in her eyes wasn't fully back. She was still guarded. still careful, still haunted by that one night when everything changed. Because betrayal doesn't just hurt once, it lingers. Every laugh you shared, every secret you told, every time you said, "I got you," it all replays in your head, reminding you that even love can turn into a weapon. Months later, fans spotted Tiny and Shekinah at the same event. Cameras zoomed in, waiting for drama. Tiny kept her distance. No eye contact. No acknowledgement. Just calm composure. Shekinah tried to approach, but security stepped in before she could get close. The message was clear. Tiny was done. That clip went viral too, with fans calling it the final goodbye. And maybe that's exactly what it was. Because when someone betrays you like that, there's no going back. You can forgive, but you'll never forget. You can move on, but you'll never trust the same again. Tiny learned that the hard way. She learned that love and loyalty mean nothing to those who see your pain as content. And Shekinah? She learned that clout fades faster than friendship. In the end, Atlanta wasn't just left in shock. It was reminded that fame might make you rich, but it doesn't make you safe. Tiny stood tall, stronger than ever, with her circle smaller but her peace finally intact. And as for Shekinah, she disappeared from the spotlight, whispering to a few close friends that she wishes she could take it all back. But that's the thing about secrets. Once they're out, they don't go back in. And in this city, loyalty is everything. And betrayal? That's the one thing you don't survive.